This system is also called Mars. UN has formed this. It's based on satellites. So methane alert and response system, the system word itself tells you it is related to alerting the emissions of methane. Methane emissions, if it is crossing a particular level, through satellite they want to see which areas and what level of methanes are being released. Now you know methane is not a very fantastic gas. It is, in some areas it is more poisonous also. It is very dangerous for the human life and it has a lot of nasty effects on the human body. Therefore it is very important that methane emissions of different countries will be looked from this system. So this actually came in COP27, the climate meet which happened. So what happened is, you know that COP27 UNFCCC meeting, United Nations Federation for Climate Change, and so the essence of this system is to find the emissions of methane and check the levels of methane. That is the essence of it. Now moving on, what are the important points of this? So 27th Conference of Parties of the United Nations Framework Convention, and where did it happen? This is very important. Part of UNEP program, International Methane Emissions. So the IMO strategy to get policy relevant data on the right hands of emissions mitigation. So that is the essence of it. So just remember these points, useful for prelims. So UNEP and place where it happened, that is very important. What are the objectives? Integrate data, that is a very important point. It integrates data from a large number of existing as well as future satellites that have the ability to detect methane emissions anywhere in the world and send out notifications to that relevant stakeholders where there is huge emission. If there is a lot of emission in a particular country, automatically the satellite through this organization will send the information saying that, dude, your country's methane is too much, so just be careful about it. So what is the other advantage? Track the large point emission sources. This is very important. That is a function of it, especially from fossil fuel as well as coal waste, livestock and rice fields as well. So what are the where are the other places where emission takes place? Coal waste, livestock and rice fields. All these are mainly involved in release of methane. So industry wise also, this Mars system will tell us where the methane emissions are at a higher level. So why methane? Because of these properties. Methane, it's a colorless and odorless gas, occurs abundantly in nature and as a product of certain human activities. So methane, simplest member of the paraffin series of hydrocarbons, most potent for greenhouse gases. That is the issue. Why methane? Why is there is special consideration for methane? Is because this is the reason for maximum release of greenhouse gases, which are also called GHGs. And the second common most among the 6 major greenhouse gases, but it is far more dangerous than carbon dioxide. So methane inhalation almost leading to death or burnings which happen inside. Just like more dangerous than carbon monoxide also, not even dioxide. It is dangerous than carbon monoxide also. So that is the reason why methane has a special consideration for this. Now please remember, the whole world has taken global methane pledge at Glasgow Climate in 2021, where at least by 30%, this value by 2030, 30 and 30, just remember, and global methane pledge is by 2020 levels. From 2020 to 2030, they want to reduce the greenhouse gas by 30%. That is a pledge that they have taken, global methane pledge. Next, another important initiative is Global Methane Initiative. So it is an international public-private partnership, that is very important. So reducing the barriers to recovery and use of methane as a clean energy source, that is a highlight point. So the Global Methane Initiative is to give clean energy source Now, international public-private partnership focused on reducing barriers to the recovery and use of methane as a clean energy source. So that is the essence of this one. So global methane initiative fundamentally is to create clean energy source, make methane a clean energy source, and global methane pledge is to reduce it by 30%. If you remember these details, I think it is more than sufficient for your prelims. And this you can also, if there is any, how is, let's say there is a question saying that how is the international committee members or international organizations working on climate change. Sorry. You can happily mention these pledges as well as this initiative. So on that purpose, it is very important for mains. Now that is international level. What about India? In India, Haridwara. So this comes under ICAR. So it is anti-methane. Haridwara, which can cut down how from where? Cattle. So from cattle, they want to reduce, cattle also produce a lot of methane. So it want to reduce through cattle 7 to 20% they want to reduce. And can also result in higher milk production. This is also very important. So prelims ke liye prelims as well as mains examples also you can see. And India Greenhouse Program, this is very important. This program is led by whom? World Resource Institute, WRI, and it's a non-profit organization and confederation. You know this CIA and Energy and Resource, TERI. This industry-led voluntary framework measure to manage greenhouse gas emissions. So they will ask you a question: who are the people who are involved in this program? So please remember WRI plus CII plus TERI. All these organizations are involved in this program. So there is a question, there is a chance of this question popping up in the exam. So please remember Haridwara and Indian Greenhouse Gas Program. These are the things. So just a quick recap. So why methane? I told you, colorless, odorless, very dangerous, not good release of hydrocarbons, and it because of methane it is a greenhouse gas itself. So and it is very dangerous than carbon dioxide. That is the whole point. And which other organizations? Remember the methane pledge and global methane initiative. And then please in India, Haridwara and India greenhouse gas programs. If you remember this, I think it should be more than sufficient.